Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and ensure you never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links are waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Ohio Bobcats vs. Kent State Golden Flashes Preview. The Ohio Bobcats, 5-3, 3-1 MAC, aim to keep their momentum going after a solid 47-16 home victory over the Buffalo Bulls on October 26th. Senior quarterback Parker Navarro had a strong performance, completing 73.7% of his passes, 14 of 19, for 231 yards, adding 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, while also rushing 13 times for 81 yards, 6.2 yards per carry. The Bobcats' offense was dominant, racking up 47 points on 489 total yards, achieving 22 first downs and turning the ball over only once. Notably, they averaged 6.3 yards per carry, a promising stat for their ground game. So far this season, Navarro has completed 66.2% of his passes for 1,217 yards with 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, adding 508 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. On the defensive side, the Bobcats held Buffalo to 16 points on 383 total yards, 257 passing, 126 rushing, forcing 2 turnovers, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. However, they allowed Buffalo to convert 9 of 16 third downs, an area they'll need to tighten up. Ohio currently averages 25.0 points per game, 93rd in college football, while allowing 23.3 points per game, ranking 56th nationally. In contrast, the Kent State Golden Flashes, 0-8, 0-4 MAC, are still searching for their first win this season after a rough 52-21 road loss to Western Michigan on October 26th. Junior quarterback Tommy Ulatowski had a challenging game, completing 50% of his passes, 12 of 24, for 114 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, while rushing 11 times for 29 yards, 2.6 yards per attempt. Kent State struggled offensively, converting just 1 of 13 third down attempts and averaging only 4.6 yards per pass attempt. Turnovers were a major issue as they committed for 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. Ulatowski has completed just 42.6% of his passes this season, totaling 940 yards with 11 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Defensively, Kent State was unable to contain Western Michigan, allowing 52 points on 579 total yards. They were particularly vulnerable to the big play, surrendering 9.2 yards per pass attempt and 9.7 yards per rush. The Golden Flashes rank near the bottom nationally, averaging just 17.0 points per game, 129th, while giving up 46.6 points per game, 134th. Recent defensive trends illustrate the gap between these teams, with Ohio allowing an average of 20.3 points in their last 4 games compared to Kent State's 44.8 points allowed over their previous 5. Kent State's ongoing quarterback issues, partly due to injuries, have not helped, and Ulatowski will need to focus on minimizing turnovers. Ohio is 4-4 against the spread, ATS, this season, while Kent State is 2-6, making Ohio the stronger pick to cover on the road. Prediction: Ohio Bobcats minus 18.5 points. When looking at recent offensive output, both teams have been able to score despite their struggles with turnovers. Over the last 4 games, Ohio is averaging 31.0 points per game, and Kent State is putting up 23.8 points per game. However, turnovers are a consistent issue for both, with Ohio at a -8 turnover margin and Kent State at -10, often providing their opponents with favorable field positions and increased scoring opportunities. Given that both teams have hit the over in 5 of their 8 games this season, the over on 52.5 points seems likely. Prediction: over 52.5 points. Northern Illinois Huskies vs. Western Michigan Broncos. Full preview. We're in for an intriguing Week 11 showdown in the Mid-American Conference as the Northern Illinois Huskies, 4-4, 1-3 MAC, travel to Waldo Stadium to face the Western Michigan Broncos, 5-3, 4-0 MAC. This matchup, scheduled for November 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be televised on ESPN2 giving fans a primetime MAC action game. Both teams come into this contest with different trajectories. Northern Illinois is struggling to find consistency, while Western Michigan is riding high on a 4-game win streak. But let's break down what's at stake and where each team stands heading into this battle. The Huskies come into this game following a narrow 25-23 road loss to Ball State on October 26th. The loss marked their second consecutive defeat and puts them in a tough spot as they try to regain momentum in conference play. Despite the loss, Northern Illinois has shown flashes of promise, especially with their rushing attack, which ranks 22nd in the nation, averaging 205.9 yards per game. Quarterback Ethan Hampton has been solid for the Huskies this season, completing 58.1% of his passes for 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. However, Hampton is currently dealing with an undisclosed injury, and if he's unavailable, Josh Holst will take over the quarterback duties. If Hampton plays, his ability to manage the offense and make plays with his legs will be crucial. Hampton also has 113 rushing yards on the season, adding another dimension to his game. Despite the offensive issues in their last 2 games, Northern Illinois' defense has been one of the more impressive units in the MAC. The Huskies are allowing just 275.4 total yards per game, 7th nationally, and only 17.6 points per game. Their defensive line and secondary have consistently been tough, with the passing defense giving up a mere 164.8 passing yards per game, 11th nationally. This is key as Western Michigan's quarterback Hayden Wolff is playing lights out this season and will be tested by a strong secondary. Northern Illinois will rely on their defense to keep the game close and give their offense the chance to capitalize on any Western Michigan mistakes. Western Michigan Broncos rolling with momentum. Western Michigan has been one of the hottest teams in the MAC over the past month. After starting the season with a 1-3 record, the Broncos have rattled off 4 consecutive wins, including a dominant 52-21 victory over Kent State on October 26th. The Broncos have a solid offense led by Hayden Wolff, a senior quarterback who has been playing at a high level. Wolff has completed 68.8% of his passes for 1,586 yards, 15 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions this season. His chemistry with his receiving core has been a big reason for the offensive surge. Western Michigan has been successful because of their balanced offense, averaging 408.9 total yards per game, with a very strong rushing attack averaging 209.0 yards per game, 18th nationally. They're particularly dangerous on the ground, with running backs like Sean Tyler and Ladarius Jefferson capable of breaking big runs and wearing down opposing defenses. However, their passing game is still a work in progress, ranking 92nd in the nation with just 199.9 passing yards per game. Defensively, though, Western Michigan has been a major letdown this season. They are allowing a whopping 429.6 total yards per game, which ranks 119th nationally. The pass defense in particular has been a huge liability, as they're surrendering 256.5 passing yards per game, 113th nationally. The Broncos have been porous on third downs and have struggled to get key stops in critical moments, allowing 33.8 points per game, ranked 115th in the country. This will be a huge factor in this game, as Northern Illinois' efficient offense and strong running game could take advantage of these weaknesses. The key to this game will be the battle between Northern Illinois' defense and Western Michigan's offense. The Huskies have been one of the top defenses in the MAC, and they'll need to continue that trend to keep the Broncos' high-scoring offense in check. On the other hand, if Northern Illinois can control the game on the ground and dominate the clock, they'll be in a good position to secure a win or at least cover the spread. One major advantage for Northern Illinois is their ability to convert on third down. The Huskies have been fairly efficient in that area, converting 43.9% of their third down attempts, which is a solid number for a team that often relies on their running game to wear down opposing defenses. In comparison, Western Michigan has struggled on third downs, converting just 39.4% of their attempts. This could be an area where Northern Illinois gains an edge, especially if they can sustain long drives and keep their defense off the field. Prediction: Northern Illinois Huskies minus 1.5 points. While both teams have shown the ability to put up points, Northern Illinois has the advantage in the trenches and on defense. The Huskies have been more consistent at controlling the game with their rush attack and keeping opposing offenses in check. The Broncos, on the other hand, are likely to struggle against Northern Illinois' top-notch pass defense and physical running game. Under prediction, over 52.5 points. Both teams have been involved in high-scoring games recently, and despite the Huskies' strong defense, they may need to score in the upper 20s or even 30s to cover the spread. Western Michigan's explosive offense has been putting up big numbers, and Northern Illinois has shown they can score when needed. So, expect a higher scoring affair and take the over 52.5 points.